the color being so dark, it's pretty hard to see any. But that's why we still want to go ahead and look. I have not observed any in the second horizon either, so we'll dash that out for the second horizon. The third horizon, I do think we have some. Let's see again. Here's that ped, very shiny looking. Let's see. I am seeing both iron manganese masses, so they're just inky black, very black iron manganese masses, and also I'm seeing some I want to say Fe3, 3+ oxidized, so oxidation, a sign of oxidation. So some faint orange models there, some faint orange redox features. So that's what I'm going to put here. So I'm going to say in this box, let's go ahead and put down, so FEMN, I'm going to say masses, and I'm going to say Fe3+ concentrations. So that's here in the redox features, the iron, manganese, and the concentrations of this, the redox, the red orange colored redox features. So now I got to find one that I can get to that's big enough to color. So I think I have one picked out here. I'll hold up my color page, hold up here to the chip. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call this a 10YR 46 for the color. 10YR 46 for the color of the Fe3+ nodule. Oh! Okay, so now on to the fourth horizon, looking at redox features. So let's see if we can see anything different than what was in the third one. Okay, I see different piece here. Let's see. I'm going to say this horizon's pretty similar to the last one, that it's got both the iron manganese. In fact, there's some pretty good nodules. They're hard black nodules in the soil. So I can get one, try to smash it between my fingernails here, and it's harder than that. I could probably smash it with the flat of my knife. I'm going to say for the fourth horizon, same as the third. Now the fifth horizon, I'll pick this up and see what I find. Lots of clay films. There's another one of those calcium carbonate nodules again. These white masses, although they look kind of yellowy, but if I smash them, they're definitely carbonate nodules. Let's see. I think I'm gonna say pretty similar to the third. So the third, fourth, and fifth, we have iron manganese masses and iron 3+ concentrations. I did not observe any iron 2+ concentrations. So that would mean, for a lot of different purposes, that would mean that this is a pretty good soil, that we don't have any drainage issues that I've noted per se. It does have a decent amount of clay content in it, which is the next thing we need to do, is need to do the texture. Also talk about rock fragments. So as far as rock fragment percentages go, I didn't really observe any rock fragments in about the upper 2 and 3 horizons. But when I get into the fourth and fifth horizons was where I was noticing. And so I noticed that one little rock that I showed you, but I also want to show you a pretty cool big rock, so I'll move to do that. Okay, so now I'm standing out of the soil pit, and can you see where the top of my head of my shadow is down in the pit there? So I'm moving it back and forth. There was a big old rock there, and that would be in the 1, 2, 3, the 4th horizon, maybe 4th and 5th horizon. And that rock is now here on the outside of the pile, and that's a boulder. So that would be a Sioux quartzite boulder. It's a pink rock. It's metamorphosed sandstone, so it's a quartzite boulder, very, very old. And so the fact that I've seen a piece of quartz and a piece of quartzite definitely makes me think that this is glacial till, and that is the parent material for this site. So I'll pan around a little bit. This is actually the backyard at my house, and so it's kind of a hilly landscape. The slope here, there's a slope stake, and I don't know where the other slope stake is right now, somewhere around here, but probably about a 5% slope at least. Oh, there it is, it fell down, but maybe a 5 or 6% slope here. And so this site, the parent material for the site is going to be glacial till. And so now the next thing I want to do is sit down and look at and do my textures, work up the textures to see what I have there. So now I'm going to turn in this Feel Good book for describing and sampling soils to the page that has a textural triangle on it. And I like to keep that open when I do texture triangle. And I'm going to work these up. So hopefully you've had a little experience with that before in some way or another. But what I do is just I make sure I have plenty of soil, because I usually drop a ton of it while I'm working on my texture ball. I just noticed an interesting rock over here. A big piece of quartz again. Squirt some water in using, a little hair squirt bottle or whatever, and then work it up into a putty ball. So I have, this is, pretty big size ball, bigger than a golf ball right now. I really encourage working up as big a texture ball to start with, because you'll drop some, and then if you drop it into a texture that's totally different, and you don't want to pick it back up again. So, but I work it up. Probably set a little bit of it down now, but I already have a pretty good feeling about what this texture is, so it doesn't take me too long. But I'll work it up, and what I want to do is get it worked into a nice smooth ball, and then and the way I do this is I unstick my back finger first, and then I unstick my thumb. So I go push it, unstick, push, unstick, and so on. So there's a big root in there I want to throw out. So it takes a few times. I'll take it and so forth. So I'm going to turn the camera off while I work up all my texture balls. Alright, so I've got all my texture balls pretty well worked up. And the first thing I do is go back to the top, and I'm going to try to make my ribbon. See how long I can make it. So I unstick my fingers one at a time. See how long I can make that ribbon. So this feels pretty smooth. I would say that ribbon broke off before, a little under 2 inches, and I make my ribbons very thin. So I am going to go ahead and say that this is probably a silt loam. So I'm going to say, silt loam, probably somewhere around 20% clay in that. So I'll put for the first horizon. The second horizon, I can feel a little more stick here. Wants to stick to my hand a little bit. So I think I can probably make a little bit longer ribbon there. I definitely can. So for the second one, I might move it up. So if this is a silt loam, if the first horizon's a silt loam 20, I might make the second one like a silt loam 26. I don't think it's over that line, making it silty clay loam yet, but I do think it's gone up some. So first horizon silt loam, second horizon is silty clay loam. So I'll put my clay estimates over here at 20 and 26. So silt loam, silty clay loam, here's my clay contents, 20 and 26 are my estimates. Third horizon, this has gone up a ton. The clay content has jumped in this one. see how long I can make my ribbon. I can make my ribbon very long, and it's very difficult to work. So I'm going to say, I'll probably put this at a silty clay. Honestly, I'll probably go ahead and jump this all the way to a silty. I have to try to decide if I want to go silty clay or silty clay loam. I'm going to put it at silty clay 40. That's what I'll call that one. It just works really, really hard. Bones in my hands are grinding together. So that's a big clay jump from 26 to 40. The next horizon, I'm going to say similar, maybe a few higher. So maybe I'll put that one as a silty clay 43. Silty clay 43. And the fifth horizon, let's see. Yeah, it's just hard, very hard. Stars back to supervise, see how we're doing. Man, I'm gonna put that, I'll leave that silty clay, and I'll probably leave that, for fun, I'll go with 42. So those are my estimates, and I'm pretty sure that I'm in the right box. I'm in the right category. So with practice, one person can get, within a few percent on clay and be pretty accurate. So now I want to go in the soil pit to do consistency and roots and pores.